With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift Motorsports hits the Brickyard 4. The Brickyard 240 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave bringing you all the calls from the trackside here tonight as qualifying just underway. Again, that 28 of Andrew Mraz put his Ford Mustang back in victory lane for back-to-back race weekends. We'll have to wait to find out. Only one other driver been to victory lane multiple times on the season, and that is that 16 of Austin Hill. Doesn't look like Hill is here tonight, so not gonna look for a third one. Do have a few drivers to get another race win under their belt, but nobody else being able to go back-to-back race wins so far this season except for that 16 of Austin Hill. As these drivers begin to put down some time lapse, we'll begin to throw some of the information up for you over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Multiple drivers out there on the track right now on their up-to-speed laps and things of that nature. Some drivers still out there on pit road. Mike Franklin, Mike Watkins Jr., Don Kidder, as well as Nick Hunt and David Cameron, all still on the pit lane. Track very, very busy place. The 4 of Jim Ott still down there on pit road as well. Driver's going to slowly begin to turn in some time lapse here at this 2.5 mile. They call it an oval. It's more like a rounded rectangle in my opinion, but you know, 2.5 miles around this speedway, and it is going to be quite a bit. There you can see Stephen Ayers Jr. on screen, driver sitting in the 4th spot on the speed charts. Andrew Mraz, top spot, quick time right now, 53.18, 3/10 faster than Edward Bray on his first time lap. John Furness goes top of the board with a 52.96. Furness was your fastest driver in happy hour. Ken, he put that Chevy Camaro back in the top spot here at the end of qualifying with just about 2 minutes remaining. Here, drivers going to have to start putting in those second-time laps very, very quick if they're going to want to have a chance to dethrone Furness at the top of your speed chart here tonight. Going to be a long, grueling race for these drivers. Each one of these corner entries very, very technical, very important that you set yourself up on the exit of turn 1, setting yourself up for turn 2, the entry to turn 2, how you launch off of those first corners really does affect how well you're able to enter the next one, enter turn 2 or enter turn 4. And the exit of turn 4, very, very crucial. Exit of turn 2, very crucial, very long stretches for these drivers to cover. And as we find ourselves with just a little bit of time, why not throw up some of your little bit of race information for you here tonight? There you can see it, the Brickyard 240 in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series right here in SwiftMotorSports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Gonna have a fine, fine show here tonight. Track pretty cool out there, 70-degree track, temperature 65, a little bit chilly here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but if you're like most of the rest of the country, you're in a little bit of a cold spell right now. Pretty cold down here in North Carolina as well. So, you know, seems to make sense right now. Still top of the speed charts here as qualifying begins to roll down to the final 40 seconds or so. John Furness still top of the speed charts. 42.96 is a quick time. Jim Ott, Nick Hunt, and Casey Duncan on their second-time laps. I don't think they're going to have enough because they're going to have to pick up quite a bit to dethrone John Furness. Looks like Michael Watkins Jr., Don Kidder, David Cameron, and Brandon Freeze all going to stay on pit road. None of those drivers going to put down a time lapse. So with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll be right back trackside with your starting lineup and your championship points heading into tonight's race number 8, the Brickyard 240.
racing. You wanted the best, you got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Drivers beginning to line up on the starting grid here tonight. And as we get set for tonight's Brickyard 240 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in race number 8, the season number 2 for Swift Motorsports. I tell you what, let's go ahead and run down a little bit of your official business here tonight. Heading in to tonight's race, there you can see your championship standings for the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series here in Swift Motorsports. Tommy Haynes has a 15-point advantage over John Wimbish. Nick Hunt in the 00. Good solid runs by Hunt, sitting right there in the 3rd position, still in striking distance on getting that regular season championship. I don't believe there's any points involved if you snatch that one, but still a good title to go ahead and give yourself here tonight. As still waiting for your pole sitter to make it through final tech inspection here. Jim Ott slotted just outside of the top 5. John Furnish, your pole sitter, right there in the 8th spot. Mike Franklin rounding out your top 10 in the championship standings. Looking for a few drivers that have missed some races, and Austin Hill, he is a multiple-time race winner this season, but there you can see him back through the point standings all the way back there outside of your top 20, so Hill gonna have to fight, scratch, and claw his way to get back into a spot to make it into the chase here. And as drivers have hit the starting grid, why don't we go ahead and begin the pre-race? You know it, you hear it in the background. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the drivers roll across those famous bricks, starting inside row number 1, your pole sitter, John Furnace. Lining up just to his outside, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Robbie Oddie in the 45 gonna line up right there inside row number 2. In row just to his outside will be the 4 of Jim Ott. Row number 3 here tonight, the 33 of Terry Kahn, followed by the 22 of Todd Cray. Already got the fans rooting for you in the chat. 22 of Todd Gray looks to improve that 6th starting spot. The 66 of Edward Bray going to line up inside row number 4 with Tommy Haynes just to his outside. Your championship points leader a little bit in the mid-pack here on this initial start. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see how he makes a go here in the early laps. The 00 of Nick Hunt going to be lining up in the 9th position, and Nigel Christensen going to round out your top 10. Familiar man at the front, Ken at 56 improve the 11th starting position and make his way up through the field. Jason Ayerson in that 44 machine going to line up just to his outside. Inside row number 7, the 18 of Casey Duncan, followed by the 30 of Justin Gann. 37 of Timothy Smith going to line up in 15th, while Jonathan Cogswell going to line up in the 16th position. Pace car going to duck down. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Long run to the green flag and on the gas in the restart box here in just a few moments. And green flag out here tonight for the first time from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. John Furness, your pole sitter, leads the field off into turn 1 for the first time. Robbie Otti looking to the inside of Mraz, side by side. Off of turn number 1, field with some more mix-ups through this pack. Tommy Haynes takes a spot from Nick Hunt as your top 3 all nose to tail. Now off of turn 2, Jim Ott right there in that familiar 4 machine running in the 4th spot. And Todd Cray right there in that sweet Chips Ahoy machine, trying to keep Terry Kahn behind him, but Kahn looking to the inside into turn 3. Gonna have the preferred line, gonna have the spot, not just yet. Completes that slide job right across the nose of the 22 out of turn number 3 and into 4. Field comes back across to complete lap number 1 here tonight. Very long race on our hands here. 240 miles here tonight at the Brickyard. For these RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series drivers, looks like the front of the field already beginning to get the single file, and we should see a pretty good bit of single file action here tonight. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, not really known for the multiple grooves. Got to be able to enter the corners at certain spots and at certain times, and can this field continue to try to dice it up, mix it up without giving up too much time as we go with a great onboard camera shot here with your championship points leader, the 17 of Tommy Haynes, his Toyota Supra, looking pretty good, making me a little thirsty there. Field still rolling clean and green here. Lap number 2 already in the books. 3 now underway. Jason Ayerson looks like he has had some trouble. The 44 not able to make the start of the race. And Michael Atkins Jr., he has not been able to pick up any sorts of time. That 41 way behind the 8 ball, about 10 seconds back from the closest driver around him. That is David Cameron running back in the 19th spot. We'll go take a look back here on board with that 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car, just car not firing off very well here early in the going. Jumping back outside of your top 10, Tommy Haynes, John Wimbish, Casey Duncan. They've got Nigel Christensen in the 20 machine just behind them. That's from 9th all the way back to about the 12th position, all nose to tail right here. You can see the 00 of Nick Hunt, and that depends. Toyota Supra sitting right there in the 8th position. Still close battle at the front of the field, so we'll head back up here as it looks like Furness has got some company. Mraz all over that rear deck lid as they make their way. I believe that is turn number 3. That's actually off of turn number 2 now down this long back stretch. Will Mraz look to peek to the inside and try to take over the race lead as they head into 3? No, content just to stay in line here and complete a few more laps before trying to take that top spot. So we'll jump back here with this battle, this little scrum going on. Robbie Otti has Jim Ott, Terry Kahn, and Todd Cray lined up right behind him. The 66 of Edward Bray up in the mix. Bray running in the 7th position very early here tonight. And I'm going to say it, it's a very long race. The drivers are going to have multiple green flag pit stops if we can keep this thing clean and green and the tire management is going to be, I think, more key than most of the tracks that we have been to so far here in this season, except for maybe the road courses. You're going to have to keep the tires underneath you. You can't just burn them off here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You will pay the price, but what you will pay the price for is losing the draft. Looking at these drivers and the speeds that they have down the front stretch and down the back stretch, drivers that are in the smaller packs seem to be just a tick slower. Andrew Mraz and John Furness just a tick slower last time by than the drivers that are lined up just behind them, slowly creeping and inching their way back up to those top two: Robbie Oddie, Jim Ott, Terry Kahn, and Todd Cray on screen. Gonna jump back to this battle here just behind that short little scrum. Looks like these drivers are pretty comfortable with where they run right now, just looking for some drivers to possibly make some mistakes. And here comes Casey Duncan in that Great House 18 Toyota Supra. He's making his way right to the back end of that 56 of John Wimbish, now looking to the inside as they head to turn 3. The 18 looks to take a spot away. Looks to do so down on the bottom of the track, not able to slide up through 3. Now has the entry to 4 on the bottom. Will Wimbish be able to keep it wound up on the top? Not going to be able to keep that charge behind him, and Duncan cracks in to the top 10. And as these battles slowly dissipate back here, we'll jump up here as the 66 of Bray looks to take a spot away from Terry Kahn. Todd Cray was able to make a pass just last time by lap number 6. Cray was able to make up a spot and take the last spot in the top 5 away from Terry Kahn. Now here comes Cray looking for more. He's going to have the spot on Robbie Oddie. Oddie going to fall back to the 5th position and into the clutches of that 33 machine here very shortly. That City Chevrolet looking fine with that throwback, that homage to the Days of Thunder's car there. And great little series about Days of Thunder recently when the Daytona 500 just this past weekend was underway. Some great inside information. Oh, and big time moment for Terry Kahn right across the nose of Oddie. That could have been pretty bad there. That was very, very close. Gonna jump back to a battle outside of your top 10. There you can see the 30 of Justin Gann. He looks to take his RB RIGS Toyota Supra up in front of the 20 of Nigel Christensen, able to do so with ease that time by, and still a little bit of connection issues up through the field, trying to see who that is with a little bit of smoke coming out of the cars there. There you can see it once again. We'll jump back up here, see if we can't see or find this culprit. The Magic Man here at the Brickyard 240 for the RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Driver still nose to tail, single file running as we begin lap number 9 out of the 96 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And race fans, there are no fast repairs here in Swift Motorsports. Big boy racing at its finest. No stages either. Run what you brung all the way through. You got to get the job done all on your own here in Swift Motorsports, and we'll see if Furness can continue his domination here early in the going. Still very early to call it dominating, but has been able to walk away from last week's race winner Andrew Mraz, now struggling to keep pace, falling off of the tail end. And it's kind of odd to see that as these two drivers begin to separate themselves at the front of the field, this pack right here being led by Jim Ott, and he's got Todd Cray breathing down the back of his rear deck lid right there, making their way through one and off of turn 1 and down into turn number 2. Now it's interesting to see these drivers not really gaining that time anymore. Andrew Mraz and John Furness, they have 3.5 seconds over Ott and Cray, as those two drivers start to separate themselves from Kahn and Bray back there in 5th and 6th. Oddie falling to the wayside and back into the clutches of Nick Hunt. That's going to be a battle here for position very shortly. There you can see it as that double O of Hunt looks for yet another spot here tonight. Hunt gaining just one spot from where he started tonight's race back in the 9th position, now running in 8th. Casey Duncan, driver just behind him, and that 18 Great House Toyota Supra up 4 spots from where he started tonight. He is your biggest mover of the race so far. Want to give a big mention as well to David Cameron, up 3 spots from where he started. Brandon Fries in the 21 machine, that Ford Mustang, up 3 spots as well. Looks like some of the drivers going to begin to get single file, so we'll jump around to some different camera shots here. Back to the front, this battle still underway between Jim Ott and Todd Cray. There you can see that Chips Ahoy Camaro trying to take the 3rd spot away from the auto owners. 4 of Jim Ott. Ott has been very solid here so far tonight, running some great lap times, but the draft is just too much. Slipstream down the front stretch. Here comes Cray for 3rd. Cray's going to take that 3rd spot away as they enter turn 1 with ease. Looks like Ott's try to set up a crossover off of the corner exit, set himself up for a great run off of turn number 2. More battles going on just behind them too. Justin Gann now up 4 spots into the top 10. Pass done and completed. Put the 22 in that 3rd and final podium position. Ott still fighting hard though here. And as these 2 drivers begin to battle and mix it up right here, Todd Cray and Jim Ott, they're going to allow Terry Kahn, Edward Bray to close up just a little bit more on them. Nick Hunt was able to make the pass on the 18 of Casey Duncan, so Duncan dropping a spot. Going to work our way back to this 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. There you can see that Ally Camaro all alone, all by himself, but has slowly worked his way back into the mix here. Slowly going to start to begin to pick off a few drivers. Stephen Ayers Jr. in the 62 machine just in front of him, about 3.5 seconds. That gap was right around a 10-second gap at one point in time. So very fast is that 41. Looking through the timing and scoring last time by your race leader, John Ford. Oh, and into the outside wall goes Michael Atkins Jr. That's going to be some fixing on pit road needed. There you can see the back end a little bit askew, so not going to have the downforce that he needs, and that very well may affect the handling. These Xfinity cars very finicky when it comes to the aerodynamics. And back to a little further in front, just outside of your top 10, running in the 15th spot. There you can see the 82 of Mike Franklin. He's got his black rifle coffee Ford Mustang right there in that 15th spot, looking for more. Has Timothy Smith just in front of him with Brandon Fries right on his rear deck lid. And I tell you what, why don't we take a look back here from that rear deck lid on the 82. There you can see Fries right up there, tucked in behind him. Fries trying to make his way into the top 15. Back outside the cars, these drivers head down the front stretch. Very long front stretch and back stretch here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Drag races left and right all through the field. We're going to jump back to another battle on the track. There you see that 17 of Tommy Haynes. He has had a rough go at it. Started inside the top 10, now running back in the 11th position. And closing in is that 20 of Nigel Christensen. Christensen has lost 2 spots from where he started tonight's race, but is slowly starting to gain that time back. Slowly trying to pick off those positions once again and start right where he did. Justin Gann makes up another spot. Gann up into the top 9. Because it just sounds cooler than top 10. Back towards the front of the field, we'll go back to this 3-car battle that has seemed to rage on. 3-4-car battle, if you want to call it the fourth one, with Edward Bray right there in the 66 machine. Last one of those 4 drivers, he is breathing down the neck of the 33 of Terry Kahn. They have been packed up with each other pretty much the entirety of this race. Jim Ott losing some ground to Todd Cray right now. Half a second separates that 22 from the 4, so Cray looking to step away and see if he can't close that 4.4 second gap up to Andrew Mraz running in the second spot, still following John Furness around this track. A little bit more of your timing and scoring, a little different look over there on the left-hand side of your screen. You can follow along with the lap times in the gaps, just as we do here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. And if you haven't already, race fans, toss these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually sliding on through or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And go ahead, as I already said, throw these drivers a thumbs up. 18 laps now, clean and green here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. These RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series drivers laying it all out on the line. Oh, and looks like John Wimbish and Tommy Haynes to pit road. Gonna check the timing and scoring. Doesn't look like anybody had any type of incidents here. So that very well may be a scheduled pit stop. We'll have to wait and see. These drivers can utilize different strategies here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And my goodness, do want to mention this one. Look at that. Todd Cray, he has closed some distance. He has closed some ground as more drivers to pit road. Cray going to come to pit road. Terry Kahn going to join him as well. So second, a pack of cars to hit pit road this time by. So as I was saying, drivers can use a road course strategy or a road course approach to tonight's race if they would like. As soon as those fuel windows open, you shortchange the first run and then you complete every lap that you have to from there on out. Some drivers may try to extend this run. The clean air, pretty crucial, pretty critical for the handling of the car, so you're going to be able to keep the tires on it a little bit longer running in clean air. Now looks like John Furness indeed going to bring his machine to pit road. Andrew Mraz going to come as well. Jim Ott, Edward Bray, Nick Hunt, there you can see them. They make their way off of turn number 4. They all break for pit road as the 00 of Hunt stays out on track. Almost the entire field except for, well, Nick Hunt, David Cameron, and Stephen Ayers Jr. left to hit pit road. Where will Todd Cray, Terry Kahn, John Wimbish, and Tommy Haynes slot out when they make their way back onto the racing surface? Looks like not really making up too much ground was John Wimbish with that earlier stop. Still staying out there on track is Nick Hunt and David Cameron. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to go ahead and come to pit road that time by, so we continue to watch the front of this field with your race leader as these drivers complete the first round of the green flag pit cycle here very early tonight. As Nick Hunt, he's going to peel off and come to pit road. That's going to put the lead in the hands of this man right here, the 10 of David Cameron. Will he bring it to pit road this time by? I do believe Cameron's not going to be able to afford to stay out there very much longer by himself. And no, he's going to go ahead and bring it to pit road this time by. John Furness makes his way off of turn number 4 down the front stretch back by Cameron already. He's still got a pass hunt. Does so right there, almost right at the line. As you can see, Stephen Ayers Jr. making his way off of pit road. The 62 gonna fall off the lead lap, be scored in the lucky dog position, running in the 18th spot here tonight. And want to talk about getting the job done on and off pit road. We spoke to him last night about the entry and exits to pit road. Todd Cray, last night's race winner at Chicagoland in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series here in Swift, and he talked about being able to get into the pit road a little bit more aggressively than the rest of the drivers, and looking through the timing and scoring again. That 22 putting on a clinic 49.40. That is over 0.3 of a second faster, just right there. His pit crew was also about 0.2 faster than the rest of the field, so big time gains for Todd Cray. He slowly closes that distance down to just under 7 seconds between himself and your race leader, the fastest man on the track that last time by, putting down the fastest lap of the race. Man on screen in the Havoline 1 Chevy Camaro, John Furness. Looking for some battles on the track. We'll jump back to this one just inside of your top 10. There you can see Casey Duncan beginning to heat up the 56 Cheerwine Ford Mustang of John Wimbish. Wimbish makes his way off of 4 down the front stretch once again towards the famous Yard of Bricks here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is the last remaining original track here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yes, original track was brick. Amazingly so. Not sure how they would have ever driven on it. I would have liked to have seen it and been around for that, but that's, whew. You got to be a wheelman for something like that. I'll just leave it there. After an extended stay on pit road, the 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. brings his Chevy Camaro back on the track. Atkins Jr. not having a very good go at it here tonight. There you can see him already being scored 4 laps down and looking like he may fall a little bit further through the field, as John Wimbish still has Casey Duncan breathing down his neck. Can Duncan finally get up there and take that spot away? We'll look off the nose of that 18 Super as he tries to run down the Cheerwine 56 of John Wimbish. About a quarter of the way through tonight's race, and we have been green since the drop of the green flag. Clean and green all race along as we continue to watch this 18 of Casey Duncan try to hound down that 56 of John Wimbish. These two drivers have been all over each other since getting back up to speed after the first round of green flag pit cycles. Now back to another battle just in front of them. Justin Gann all over Jim Ott looking for a spot inside the top 5. Gann up 8 spots and wants more. You can see him just inching that nose just underneath, just to the left side of Jim Ott. That's not just to intimidate or break the concentration of Jim Ott. That's to get a little bit more air on the front end of that nose and allow it to cut through the corner a little bit more. There you see him use the slipstream, the draft down the long back stretch, look to the inside on turn 3, and he's going to have that pass completed by the time they get to the entry of 4. Gann now into your top 5. Battle just outside the top 10. You can find Tommy Haynes and Jonathan Cogswell. Those two drivers mixing it up. Nigel Christensen and Mike Franklin coming into the mix as well. There you can see that 4-car battle right here as they cross the line here pretty good distance behind your race leader, but still mixing it up hard for positions. Jonathan Cogswell right there in the 11th spot. Tommy Haynes drops to 12th. Nigel Christensen and Mike Franklin looking to make their way a little further through the field and knock on the door of a top 10. Not much to say about your race leader except he gone. Look at the gap. Look at the distance. You can see him just off in the distance. That 28 of Andrew Mraz right behind the lap machine of Jason Harrison. That 44 giving a little bit of a slipstream, a little bit of a draft for Mraz, but not able to do anything with the gap. Mraz still sitting right at 5 seconds behind your race leader, John Furness, showing out here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series Brickyard 240. Back to the battle between Justin Gann, Jim Ott, and now Terry Kahn involved. Kahn looking to try to keep that 4th spot, but Gann has got other plans. Looking to move a little bit further through towards a podium spot. Gann to the bottom. He's going to make the pass with ease. Ott looking to follow through. Going to be right there on that left rear quarter panel as they make their way down the front stretch to almost 3 wide now. They think better of it. Remain 2 wide and down into the entry of turn number 1. Ott going to slide through on the bottom. Put Kahn now outside of your top 5, running in the 6th position. This is your biggest, your closest battle on the track to the race lead. We'll jump back to another battle between Mike Franklin, Nigel Christensen. Sorry for jumping, ladies and gentlemen, but we got to get this action on screen for you. Mike Franklin mixing it up with Tommy Haynes and Nigel Christensen just behind him. We are keeping our eye on that timing and scoring between Justin Gann and Jim Ott. Battle looks like it's slowly going away as Ott's starting to slide a little further back from Gann. About a 2-car race length between those two drivers right now. So Gann indeed moving a little bit further up through the field, and he very well may chase down that 22 of Todd Cray, but what's he going to do when he gets there? Still a 3-car battle right here on screen between the drivers. Running back just outside of your top 10, that is 11th, 12th, and 13th on track. And I tell you what, why not throw a little bit of battle box up there for you? Let you see some of the miles an hour. These drivers are running 190 miles an hour into the corner, into turn 1. That is absolutely insane. Nigel Christensen looking for a spot as well. Can Christensen take that 13th position away from Haynes, who's running right there just to his outside, back across the line? Still a drag race for that 13th and 14th position. Can Christensen do it down into turn 1? He's going to look to the bottom. 17 goes up the track, gives him the room, and that Toyota Supra going to lose a little bit of ground. The Anheuser-Busch 17 of Haynes falling through the field, now down 6 positions from where he started tonight's race. Gonna jump a little further up there. You can see the 18 of Casey Duncan slotted in that 8th spot. He's still got John Wimbish, Nick Hunt right behind him as he tries to run up on the back end of that 66 of Edward Bray. There you can see Bray making his way into turn 1. Drivers making their way on the doorsteps of a third of the way through tonight's race. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and run down some of your, driver highlights, spotlights here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your race leader. Driver in control since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Fastest in happy hour, fastest in qualifying. Furnace looking to do the clean sweep here tonight from the Brickyard 240. Driver sitting in front of the rest. That Havoline, one of John Furnace. Back in the second position, over 6 seconds back from your race leader out of East Lansing, Michigan, the 31-year-old Andrew Mraz, piloting that 28 to another solid run for Lowline Racing. Another 4 seconds back to the Sweet Chips Ahoy 22 of Todd Cray, running in the third spot, up 3 positions from where he started tonight's race. Cray looking to finish strong, looking to see if he can run down Mraz just off in the distance. There you can see him in the background. Justin Gann running in the 4th position here tonight. The Virginia Beach natives driving the RB Custom RIGS 4X racing machine, slotted in the 4th spot here tonight, up 10 positions from where he started. He is the biggest mover of the night so far. That's going to bring us back to our last driver inside the top 5, the 4 of Jim Ott. Michigan native right there, sponsored by Pure Ink and auto owners, trying to make a good solid run and a good solid points night out of tonight's race, running in the 5th spot, but he's got an honorable mention. Terry Kahn in the 33 right there just behind him. That City Chevrolet still looking pretty clean around this track. Maybe a little bit of damage on that right rear quarter panel, but it doesn't look like it is slowing him down at all. And we're going to now jump back to this battle, 3-4 car battle. There you can see it right there. John Wimbish, Nick Hunt, as well as go ahead and throw Casey Duncan in there because he's only a half a second in front of John Wimbish, and that is enough to get a little sniff of the draft and get a little bit of a pull in a slipstream as, the 18 gets wicked loose out of turn number 1. Wimbish high up next to the outside wall. Here comes Nick Hunt down to the bottom of the speedway, down the backstretch. Drag race once again for position 8th and 9th on the track. Double O gonna have that spot on intruder 3. Doesn't look like the Ford Mustang wants to fight the Toyota Supra. And well, depends. And while we have a little bit of a lull in the action, we're going to go high above the track with some of our different cameras here tonight. Introducing our fan cam here from Turn 3 Racing Network, right here at the iconic, the historic Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Continuing to watch this battle here as Nick Hunt, he's looking for more, looking for that 7th spot on Casey Duncan. Duncan struggling just a little bit as we reach the end of this second green flag run. We should see drivers on the pit road in the next 2 to 3 laps. And it does look like Michael Atkins Jr. has had a rough go here indeed. The 41 back on the pit road, still fixing some damage already. 10 laps down from your race leader here tonight. Ooh, big hurt there for Michael Atkins Jr. as he was climbing through the point standings tonight. Gonna set him back just a little bit. Do want to do a little bit of house cleaning before we hit this second round of green flag pit stops as Nick Hunt now takes that 7th spot away. You've seen it right there on screen. Dove to the bottom in turn 3. He's going to have that spot on the exit. Now into turn 4. Todd Cray going to come to pit road this time by. Cray, again, one of the first drivers down to pit road for those 4 fresh tires. And as we begin this round of green flag pit stops, going to go ahead and do the house cleaning. After we cycle through everything, we'll let it all sort out, and shake down here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 240. Gonna get a little closer, have a little look-see back from the driver's side of that double O of Nick Hunt, looking back at KC Duncan. John Wimbish just off in the distance right behind him. Cray, Bray, as well as Haynes, all, excuse me, all to pit road already. Cray now back up the speed down the back stretch. He's going to lose a little bit of ground, lose some time to John Furness at the front end of this, but he's looking for that undercut to try to gain a little bit more as John Wimbish breaks off for pit road, as well as Terry Conn in the 33, the City Chevrolet down the pit road for full service here tonight in the Brickyard 240. Staying with this battle on the track, this is the closest battle on the track as the 28 of Andrew Mraz brings his Ford Mustang down the pit road for service. Furness staying out on the track once again. What will this little group of cars do? Jim Ott, Justin Gann to pit road that time by. Looks like Hunt gonna stay out. Cogswell gonna stay out on track as well. Hunt back inside your podium spots here, running in the second position, and I gotta ask, you gotta ask yourself, 20 laps on the first run for Nick Hunt. He's trying to extend that to another 20-lap run. He's gonna have a little different fuel strategy here. He's gonna be able to run a little bit harder. He's not gonna have to worry about saving fuel, and I don't really think many drivers are gonna have to save any fuel here. I do believe we'll see 2 more green flag pit stops if we can stay clean and green to the end, as your race leader does come to pit road, this time by lap 39 on the board for John Furness, and he has led upwards of 30 of those laps here tonight as Nick Hunt. He's going to stay out on the track and increase the fuel stretch here, as we've got more drivers breaking off to pit road just behind him. That was, I believe, Jonathan Cogswell, as well as Mike Hunt, yes indeed, and Nigel Christensen bringing his machine to pit road as well. Keeping our eye on the battle between Andrew Mraz and Todd Cray. There you can see Mraz right there, Cray just off in the distance right behind him. About 3.5 seconds back for Cray, so Cray has been able to gain a little bit of ground on Mraz and Furness. And Mraz has gained quite a bit of time back up on John Furness, who is now just now up to speed. The gap was over 7 seconds, now back down to a manageable 4 seconds if Mraz can continue to get on and off pit road a little bit quicker than Furness that last time, by over a half a second faster on and off pit road, and that translates into quite a bit when you get back up to speed and on the track. As Nick Hunt in the double O going to bring his Toyota Supra down pit road for his green flag pit stop. We'll wait a couple more laps here before we run down and do some house cleaning here. Well, we're about halfway through. I was going to say very early, but inching in now on the halfway point here, just about, what is it? 7 laps? Yeah, right at 7. We'll call it 7. 7 laps away from the halfway point here tonight. And I told you, race fans, this was going to be another grueling one here tonight for these drivers. 2.5 miles. For 96 laps, you have got to be focused, you have got to be concentrated, you have got to maintain your composure the entire time. You have got to hit those marks on entry. And so far, after this second round of green flag pit stops, John Furness not really able to step away from Andrew Mraz as he was able to do so after the first green flag pit stop. So Mraz holding his own very well. Back to battle on the track once again. These two drivers still going at it. There you can see Nick Hunt just off in the distance. The Depends Toyota Supra going to cross that famous yard of bricks. Running inside the top 10, back in the 8th spot. We're watching the 56 of John Wimbish as he tries to close in and take the 6th spot away from the 18 of Casey Duncan, the Great House Toyota Supra. Trying to run away now. Half a second, almost 6/10 separates Duncan from Wimbish. And as we're a handful of laps into this cycled through green flag pit stop, back to the front of this field with your race leader. There you can see the gap at the top of the screen over Andrew Mraz. 4.4 seconds for John Furness as he continues dominating the field here tonight. Was fastest in happy hour, fastest in qualifying. Now leading almost half of the race here tonight. He's going to secure the most laps led award here in the next 5 to 6 laps. Nobody going to be able to touch him on that. Nobody going to be able to take that away. So with that being said, race fans, let's go ahead and run down a little bit of house cleaning, a little bit of cleanup at hand here tonight. 21 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got 19 drivers out there on the track with 14 left on the lead lap. Timothy Smith running in the 15th position, being scored 1 lap down that first car, 1 lap down in the lucky dog position, and he has got, he's got Terry Kahn all over him. We'll jump to this battle for the lucky dog position as that 33 City Chevrolet, he's going to go ahead and take that spot away, and here comes Justin Gann. Gann is on the lead lap looking to gain some ground. The familiar orange 44 of Jason Ayrson makes his way off a turn for Ayrson, having some connection issues coming into tonight. Missed the grid and had some trouble here. Scored off of the lead lap for the majority of the race here tonight. He was scored 4 laps down, now only showing him 3 laps down, so being able to manipulate the fuel runs the right way and get himself at least one of his laps back. But Ayrson, he's going to need not just a caution, he's going to need a few cautions. Back to a battle on the lead lap, just outside of your top 10, 11th and 12th on the speedway. Tommy Haynes in his Toyota Supra leads Brandon Freese's Ford Mustang. Freese on the move and trying to crack a little bit closer to the top 10. Not able to do so just yet, but still running pretty strong in that Anheuser-Busch Budweiser 17 of Haynes. He has fallen from, I believe it was 11th on the starting grid, dropped 3 spots so far here, now running in 11th. Looking at the 82 just off in front of him, the 82 of Mike Franklin. Solid run here for Franklin, doing a heck of a job. As still battling right here, you've got Edward Bray right between Nick Hunt and Mike Franklin. Franklin closing in on Bray. Battle continuing between the 82 of Franklin and Bray. Bray stuck to that high side. Can he keep the 66? Wound up out there. Gonna be very tough and treacherous, as Franklin looks like he may have the advantage. Drag race a little bit better for Bray, but not enough to keep the 82 of Franklin behind him. Franklin going to move into that 8th spot and put Bray back into 9th. A little further up, here comes Casey Duncan. He's got John Wimbish down the backstretch, breathing down his neck. We'll take another look back from the rear deck lid of that 18. As losing a little bit of ground there into turn number 3 was John Wimbish. He's looking to close there. You can see much better 4. Looks like he's giving up a little bit of time on turns 1 and turn 1 and turn 3 to gain a little bit of ground on 2 and 4. There you can see the big run. Look at him close that distance into turn 1. Able to keep even, actually pulled him a little bit there. Wimbish, big gain through 1 that time by. He's looking to continue gaining. And if you want to know just how tough it is, race fans, I tell you what, why don't we go out there with Brandon Freeze, that 21 machine, on board with Freeze as he tries to take that spot away from the 17 of Tommy Haynes. There you can see the gyro cam and not very much banking. You don't see that thing moving around very much. A little bit of vibrations down this track. A pretty smooth track, to be honest. And there you can see not very much movement out of that gyro cam. The banking not very much here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. These drivers have been clean and green since the drop of the green flag. All 49 laps have been green flag. We have had 2 green flag pit stops so far here tonight, and we continue to ride on board inside of that 21 of Brandon Freeze as he tries to make up a little bit of ground and tries to run himself into the top 10. There you see the big time moment there, and out of the gas was Freeze. He was right next to the 10 of David Cameron. Cameron almost falling victim to a pushy 21. Back outside, we'll watch this battle as there you can see Freeze. He's got a rear view mirror full of Cogswell. Cogswell wants a few more spots here late in the goings. And man, those top 2, they have just absolutely gone. They're out of here. They're in another world. Andrew Mraz right here in the 28 Ford Mustang, about 10.5 seconds in front of your new 3rd place runner, Justin Gann, in his RB Riggs custom Toyota Supra, the 30, up 11 positions from where he started. So a great run by Gann, but he is well behind the race leader, well behind the man right here on screen, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. And Mraz quite a distance back from your race leader. There you can see John Furness as he makes his way off of turn number 2 and back down the backstretch once again. 51 laps already on the board here tonight in the Brickyard 240 out of the 96 scheduled in the official race distance for the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series for Swift Motorsports, live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your home for Swift Motorsports. That's right, race fans. You can catch all the Swift Motorsports action Monday through Wednesday right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Same time, same channel, 8:05 p.m. Eastern each and every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You can find the Ayers iRacing Paints Arkham Menard Series as well as the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, and this one right here, the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Multiple drivers running in multiple different series, multiple different nights. We have seen drivers go back-to-back race nights. We have seen them go back-to-back race weekends for their respected series. And as these drivers continue to inch closer to the end of the regular season, going to take a quick little brief look at the calendar. Looks like the K&N cars, the ARCA cars, as well as the trucks going to be heading to New Hampshire next week as these Xfinity Series drivers get ready for the Lady in Black. That's right, the Black Eye 100 coming at you from Darlington Raceway here next weekend. That is yet another great track that I love. Pretty close, I say pretty close, but about 4 hours away down by the coast here in North Carolina. Then the ARCA series, as well as the truck's going to head into this hallowed ground right here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the final race in the regular season, while the Xfinity Series drivers, they're going to head to Kentucky to finish off the regular season. So a big time 2 weeks coming up for a lot of these drivers in multiple different series. Keep your eyes peeled for some great information coming out about those championship contenders. And oh my, what has happened to Todd Cray? Todd Cray has dropped. Oh my goodness, I think Cray may have had some trouble here tonight. We'll see if we can't take a look at that one real quick, see if we can see anything happening as Cray jumped right to the pits. So looks like that 22 has had some trouble and he is out of the race. Oh my goodness. And very well may have been a connection issue, because it looks like it had him jump into pit road and then making a pass. So I'm not quite sure how all that happens, but nonetheless, unfortunate luck for a very quick driver out there tonight, running inside of your top 5 for the majority of tonight's Brickyard 240 here in the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series for Swift Motorsports. Todd Cray falling way behind. And what has happened to the 28? Where has the 28 gone? Where is he on track? He has just absolutely disappeared. And well, right there he is. 8th position. On and off pit road already very sneakily. And it looks like very quick time on pit road. Maybe just a 2-tire stop for Andrew Mraz. He was only in his pit box for 10.2 seconds. So Mraz very well may be playing a tire strategy, fuel strategy game here, trying to make up some ground on a John Furness, see if he can't have a much shorter time on and off pit road and see if that can gain him quite a bit of track position. Timothy Smith going to bring in his machine to pit road this time by. We'll jump up here with this battle still raging on between the 18 of Casey Duncan and John Wimbish right there, 4th and 5th on track. They're going to make their way by the back marker, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Going to move to the high side, let these drivers fight it on out as Tommy Haynes and Edward Bray come to pit road this time by. Oh, way up the track goes Stephen Ayers Jr. into the outside wall. We're going to continue to stay green. Nick Hunt makes his way by. Jason Ayrson looking to make his way by as well, but Ayrson still being shown 1 lap further down than Stephen Ayers Jr., so I don't think that's going to be much of a fight as John Wimbish peels off the track and down to pit road that time by. That's going to do away with that battle. Jonathan Cogswell, here's a battle right here. He continues to hound Brandon Freeze, and I tell you what, we haven't been to him yet, so why don't we head down on board with another great onboard camera shot here tonight from the Turn 3 Racing Network, on board with the 27 Ford Mustang of Jonathan Cogswell. Justin Gann, Jim Ott to pit road, as well as Terry Kahn. Timothy Smith makes his way off of pit road, and he'll rejoin the track well behind the race leader, well off the pace and down through the field here tonight. Smith being shown back in the 17th position. As Brandon Fries and Jim Ott, they both break off for pit road. We stay on board with the driver of the 27, Jonathan Cogswell, just off in the distance there. You can see nobody around. He is about 7 seconds behind him to the next car and about 5 seconds to the next driver in front of him. So in no man's land right now is that 27 Ford Mustang of Jonathan Cogswell. There you can see off in the distance the 82 trying to make up a little bit of ground, as Franklin yet to hit pit road for his third green flag pit stop. Casey Duncan, Nick Hunt, both going to come to pit road that time by. When will your race leader, that man right there on screen, just putting the 20 of Nigel Christensen down one lap, but both of these drivers yet to hit pit road for the third time. When will they do so? Furness gonna come to pit road this time by. Ooh, Nigel Christensen locks it up and almost into the back end. Oh my goodness. Almost into the rear of your race leader. My goodness. That could have been bad. Hot and heavy on the brakes was Nigel Christensen, and around he went almost into the back end of your race leader. Will jump back out trackside with the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Can last week's race winner pull off back-to-back race winning weekends in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series? Very different track here tonight than where we were at last week at Daytona International Super Speedway. And look at that. Mraz gets it done. Mraz able to pass Furness, able to leapfrog him with that short pit, and with that two-tire and fuel strategy, how long will he be able to keep that 28 out in front of John Furness? And that's what it was going to take, ladies and gentlemen. It was going to take some type of strategy move in order to gain that time back, in order to give Andrew a chance, a fighting chance, if he was going to try to lead this race or try to take the race win away from Furness. And what a strategy call, man. That takes some guts to be running in second in a solid second position, come to pit road much earlier than the drivers that you were running with, 8 laps earlier to be exact. And Mraz picked up a ton of time on Furness, now still 1.8 seconds back. So even though he's got those 4 fresh tires and much fresher 4 tires, Furness, well, just like that, he begins to really click off the time. I was going to say not able to close in the distance, but that Havoline motor oil number 1 of John Furness heading back towards the front once again. Justin Gann sitting back in the 3rd spot, rounding out your podium positions. But Gann well out of the race lead formula here, or format at all. He's sitting about 17.3 seconds behind John Furness, who has now cut that lead down under 1 second. So Mraz more than likely gonna get 8 up here in the next handful of laps. And as we continue to cycle through this 3rd round of green flag pit stops, looks like we do have to do a little bit more house cleaning. 21 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got 18 out there on the track, with just 12 drivers now left on the lead lap. As you can see, Furness looks to the inside. Big block by Mraz. Mraz tries to block the run. Not gonna be able to do so. Not gonna keep John Furness behind, as Furness has that preferred inside lane hitting into turn number 1. Well and clear by the time they exit 1 here. Now back into turn number 2. Furness gonna look to step away, as he has got those much fresher tires and he has got 4 fresh tires, not just 2. And you can already see a 2, almost 3 car length race lead by Furnace as he catches a little bit of a draft off of the 66 of Edward Bray. Bray fighting to stay on the lead lap, and it is going to be a futile fight as he now goes down 1 lap. He's going to be listed as the first driver off of the lead lap back outside the top 10, outside of the lead lap, running in the 12th position. And not too much further in front of him, there you can see that 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. He has got just a handful of seconds before the race leader is going to be breathing down his neck. And look at that, 17 of Tommy Haynes. He's recovered a little bit from where he fell through the field early in tonight's race, but still down 2 spots from where he started tonight, running in the 10th position now. Closest battle on the track right here on your screen. Tommy Haynes, Jonathan Cogswell, they continue to battle for position, and Andrew Mraz back to pit road. I do not know about this fuel strategy. This strategy is getting a little bit off for me. Looking like even if he comes and gets a full tank of gas right here, he's not going to be able to go the distance. He's going to have to pit at about lap 85. But he will only need a little bit of fuel when he does do that. So I guess it's almost one of those calls, race fans, where you've made your bed, now it's time to lay in it. No choice but for Mraz and his crew chief and team to continue down this strategy, this fuel strategy, the tire strategy. Now well into play, now well underway for that 28 of Andrew Mraz, who is going to try to stay on the lead lap even after pitting here. And it does look like he's going to be able to do so, still losing a little bit of time to some drivers around him as the 17 of Haynes, wicked loose, wicked sideways in that Toyota Supra as he made his way off of turn number 1 and into turn number 2. He was completely sideways coming out of 1. Not a lot of battles to speak of on the track. There you can see a spot being taken by that 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. He's going to make his way around the 44 of Jason Ayerson. Ayerson still being scored 3 laps off of the race lead as Cogswell continues a solid run, now up 6 spots from where he started tonight's race, running inside your top 10. Gonna take a moment to highlight a few of your biggest movers of tonight's race. The biggest mover of tonight's race riding right there on screen out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, for X Racing's Justin Gann, up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race, running now in the 2nd position. Quite a bit a ways behind him, but still with a solid pickup here from where he started tonight's race. The 82 of Mike Franklin has been able to pilot that Black Rifle Coffee Ford Mustang up 10 spots from where he started, up inside the top 10, now running in the 8th position. Driver just behind him, 4.5 seconds to be exact. There you can find another Ford Mustang running strong inside the top 10, up 10 positions from where he started. Brandon Freeze running solid in 9th. And after his 4th pit stop of the night, there you can see Andrew Mraz kind of in no man's land once again, as it looks like John Wimbish having a little bit of a connection issue there for a brief moment. Looks like that gets all sorted out. No harm, no foul. we continue green flag racing here tonight on lap number 68 out of 96 scheduled in the official race distance here in race number 8 in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Glad you could all be here out in TV land, race fans. Once again, Darkside Dave with all the calls from the track side here tonight. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right hand side. Get notified anytime we go live on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding on through, just trying to see what's going on the track, or if you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And as I've already said, if you haven't already, toss these drivers a thumbs up. Looks like Nigel Christensen in the 20 has had some problems. He's going to bring his Toyota Supra down to pit road, sitting in pit lane for quite a bit of an extended stay, now up on pit road and in his box for upwards of 1 minute already. So Christensen going to begin to fall through the point standings, beginning to fall through the race standings here tonight, and back outside of the top 15 once again. Not a lot of battles. As a matter of fact, there's pretty much no battles out there to speak of. Everybody has at least a 1 second gap between themselves and their fellow drivers. And just as I say that, we start to slowly see a battle. Nick Hunt in that 00 slowly gets the gap down underneath that 1 second mark between himself and the 56 of John Wimbish. Both of those drivers have been on to pit road 3 times, still need to go 1 more time, as we've now got just 26 laps remaining. These drivers have got to make it at least another 6 laps before they'll be in that fuel window, and I think that very well may be something that Andrew Mraz and his crew looked at, calculated, and were prepared for. Because I'm not sure these drivers are going to be able to pull another 6 laps before they have to come to pit road. I think they're only going to get another 4, possibly 5. It is going to be an awful big stretch to get that 6th lap out of it. The only driver that may be able to do so, if he is way out of the gas, if he saves a ton of fuel, and there he goes by, and it doesn't sound like he is saving at all inside of that Havoline motor oil number 1. The furnace, man, on fire here tonight. No pun intended. Oh, man. I wish I had caught that before I said it. I could have made it a lot better. Casey Duncan continues to try to run inside the top 5, now outside in the 7th position, as he's got Andrew Mraz just off in front of him. Nick Hunt struggling to stay inside the top 5. Hunt trying to close the distance, close the gap on John Wimbish, but he has got it fast. Andrew Mraz closing in very, very quickly. Last time by, Mraz was about a second faster than your race leader, so those fresh tires definitely coming into play for Mraz as they continue this long green flag run. We have been clean and green since the initial start of tonight's race here in the Brickyard 240. Can these RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series drivers, can they somehow make it flag to flag? We're gonna have to find out. Brandon Freeze now struggling to stay on the lead lap. He's got your race leader John Furness all over that rear bumper, and that Ford Mustang not gonna have the pace to keep Furness behind. And now Freeze gonna be the next victim of your race leader, gonna be scored as the first driver listed 1 lap down in the lucky dog position, running in the 9th spot. Gonna jump back to it right here as Nick Hunt, he has closed that gap. He is right there breathing down the neck of that 56 of John Wimbish as Wimbish and Hunt make their way down pit road. Why don't we go to one of our back cameras here? Let's see if we can't take a look off of that Cheerwine 56, looking back at Jim Hunt as they continue this battle around the track. And big run through the center and off the corner exit there, off of 3 and into 4. Big time ground made up for Nick Hunt. Oh, he is going to be there, but will he try to make the move? Doesn't look like he's ready to do so just yet. And I tell you what, race fans, why don't we go high above the track with one of our Turn 3 drone cams here tonight, taking an eyeball on, keeping an eyeball on this battle between the 56 of Wimbish and the 00 of Nick Hunt. Guard your manhood with the pins with Nick Hunt. Jason Ayerson, Stephen Ayers Jr., they bring their machines to pit road for what very well may be the final time here tonight. Just 22 laps remaining for your race leader, John Furness, who has got just an overwhelming gap as we watch Nick Hunt look to the inside, look for that pass, look for that spot. He's going to be able to do so now. Oh, looking for a crossover. Here comes Wimbish. Back to the bottom, not going to be there just yet. Drag race down the backstretch, nose to tail. And well, Dave, how can it be a drag race if they're nose to tail? Yeah, we'll leave that one alone. That Toyota Supra of Nick Hunt looking very fast late in the going, but we are knocking on the door of that fuel window right here. John Furness, 21 laps remaining. Oh my goodness, Andrew Mraz, did you see that? Just behind John Wimbish, Mraz almost into that outside wall. That could have been some big time trouble for the strategy that Mraz is trying to utilize and use here. How long will your race leader, John Furness, stay out on the track? He is very comfortable up front and has an absolute command of tonight's race. Nobody giving him any sort of challenge right now. There you can see it. 30-second gap. Back to the driver running in the second spot, the 30 of Justin Gann. Gann with a great run here, up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race, but still 31 seconds now behind your race leader. That is going to need a caution to make up. Jim Ott going to bring the 4 auto owners Chevy Camaro to pit road that time by John Wimbish, also to pit road. That's going to move Andrew Mraz back inside the top 5, running in the 4th position. Casey Duncan going to stay out on the track, so we do have multiple drivers yet to make their 4th and final green flag pit stop right on that fuel window. Now 19 laps to go for your race leader, John Furness. And now looking at this race, fans, I'm not sure the strategy is going to pan out for that 28 of Andrew Mraz. I do believe he is going to have to hit pit road one more time because, as we've said, that pit window right around the 20 lap mark, right around 20 to 22 laps, has been when most of these drivers have been coming to pit road. And Justin Gann, Nick Hunt break away for pit road that time by, as well as the 18 of Casey Duncan. Brandon Freeze going to make his way now off of pit road and rejoin the race out on the speedway. But Furness not coming to pit road again. He's going to stay out yet again. And as I was alluding to moments ago, I'm just not sure that Mraz is going to have the fuel. We've seen it 20 to 22 laps is when these drivers have had to come back to pit road. Without a shadow of a doubt, Justin Gann, Jim Ott, Nick Hunt, they're all going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. Mike Franklin running in the 3rd spot right now, up 15 spots from where he started tonight's race. He's still yet to make his final pit stop of the night, as well as your race leader right here on screen as a 17 fighting hard to try to steal one of his laps back here. Tommy Haynes being scored just outside of the top 10 in the 11th position. And now the race leader, John Furness, going to pit from, I believe it is, what is that? I can't do the math, I'm sorry. It's 18 laps to go as John Furness is going to bring his one machine down pit road. There you can see that 28 of Andrew Mraz trying to close the gap, trying to close the distance. Not into his pit box just yet, so Andrew Mraz going to have a little glimmer of hope here towards the end of tonight's race, and I've got to think that him and his crew chief and his entire crew, and Mraz going to come back down to pit road, so the Cinderella short pit story not going to pan out for Mraz as John Furness going to make his way back off of pit road, and he should still have a quite of a commanding lead over Jim Ott, who has been able to leapfrog Justin Gann off of pit road. There you see Furness make his way back onto the backstretch there, coming off of pit lane, and he has still got an absolute humongous lead out there. My goodness. Absolute showstopper here tonight. John Furness, clean sweep without a doubt. It's going to take some catastrophic failures to keep that one of Furness out of victory lane. Mraz back off of pit road and back on the track, back in the 6th position. He's got the freshest tires now, but he has got quite a distance to make up if he's going to try to crack himself into one of the top podium spots here tonight. 3rd place sitting about, looks like quite a bit. Let's just put it that way. Right at about 20 seconds for the 28 of Mraz to try to run down that podium spot. Justin Gann running in that 3rd and final podium position right now. And I tell you what, why don't we go up there with Justin Gann, keep our eye on him as he's got Jim Ott just in front of him. That is going to be a battle for position here in just a handful of laps, but we'll look at this one. It's a battle right now. Nick Hunt to the bottom of the speedway, looking to take the spot from John Wimbish. Wimbish looks for a crossover. Fresh tires allow these drivers to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more maneuverable with their passes and repass. But John Wimbish not able to put the power down, not able to get that crossover to work, and he's going to fall now 4/10 off of the pace for car links back from Nick Hunt, who is now in the 4th spot and looking to see if he can somehow diminish that 8.2 second gap up to this man on screen. Right here, the 30 of Justin Gann, as Gann continues to try to close in on Ott for that 2nd spot. Ott about 1.2 seconds in front of Gann, running in that 3rd position. And what a race. I mean, honestly, race fans, here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 96 laps, the official race distance. These drivers are right there at it, right there with just 14 laps to go. They have been clean and green the entire race. That means we have seen one flag, and it has been the green flag all night long. Here from a very technical, very tough, very fast and flat Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 240. Here in RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series, brought to you by SwiftMotorSports, live right here on iRacing.com. iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And Jess, I am not sure what happened to Todd. All of a sudden, it looked like he lost connection. Not sure if it was maybe a power issue or an internet connection issue. And right there, from that moment, Cray not going to be able to come back into the race. He's not going to be able to make up any more ground and well through the field, just inside of your top 20. And finishing in the 19th spot here tonight, that sweet Chips Ahoy 22 was fast all race long until he had a connection issue, and boom, just gone. No contact, no issues, no penalties, just gone from the track, from the server. So tough break there for the 22. And not just for the driver and the crew, but also for some of the fans out there on the TV, in TV land. We do apologize for not repeating that a little bit earlier after the fact. But Cray, as we mentioned, way back at about, I believe it was lap 50-ish or so, is when it all happened, when it all went down, and Cray just disappeared from the track. He was the magic man. Now you see him, and we still don't. Do have a few battles to speak of. As a matter of fact, got one battle to speak of right here. Jim Ott and Justin Gann, they are pretty much nose to tail as Gann has closed that gap lap after lap, slowly clicking off a 10th here, a 10th there. Last time by was almost 3/10 faster than the 4 of Jim Ott. So Gann closing in with 1 lap fresher tires. Not quite sure it's the tires that getting the job done here tonight. I believe it is all driver at this point in time. You pretty much got what you got from this point on. And I tell you who's got what. John Furness has got the field in check. He has checked out and already gone. My goodness, what a dominating performance right here. 30.4 seconds out in front of Jim Ott, who's got Justin Gann slotted in just behind him. And Andrew Mraz, he's closed the gap. Mraz has closed the gap on Wimbish and now put Mraz back inside the top 5 as they drag race down this front stretch. Gonna cross that yard of bricks and put Mraz indeed back inside the top 5. So getting off of the fuel cycle, getting off of the tire cycle. Tire cycle. That is the very first time I've ever hiccuped mid-sentence, and I wouldn't advise it. Mraz, after being off a cycle, having to pit right there with your race leader, John Furness, and now he has got to drive like a madman, and I don't believe he's going to be able to make up very much more ground. Still 4 seconds to get to the back end of the 00 of Nick Hunt. As Hunt has been running strong all night, up 5 spots from where he started tonight's race, running in the 4th position. And Mraz, just unfortunate circumstances, look to go with a fuel strategy, a tire strategy, and unfortunately not panning out in the end for that 28 and his entire crew. Now battle right here has closed into within just a half a second. Justin Gann breathing down the neck of Jim Ott. Take another look back off of Jim Ott's auto insurance. Auto owners number 4. As the RIGS Toyota Supra begins to close in closer and closer, lap after lap. Gann is starting to get there, starting to see if he can't grab that second spot away from Jim Ott, but Ott is not going to roll. Oh, you heard him jump way out of the gas there. Big time moment off of the corner exit there for Jim Ott, as he is going to lose a little bit of momentum, a little bit of ground that time by. Big time moment. You heard him have to jump out of the gas. You heard him have to give way just a little bit, and that is not what you want here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You don't want to have to jump back out of the gas once you've gotten into the gas. That's going to allow the drivers to close in on you, and being able to do so without any issues. Justin Gann right there. Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the best battles at the end of this race. Drivers battling for a spots inside the podium positions here. Battle for the 2nd and 3rd spot on the track between Jim Ott and Justin Gann. Gann right there looking to the inside now in turn number 2. Not going to be there just yet. He continues to peak that nose out just to the left side of Ott a little bit further. Now he's going to look for the pass. Down the backstretch, they pull side by side. Gann with the little bit of advantage. He's got that inside run, and Ott's going to give him the inside look to possibly make the crossover here out of turn 3. Not going to be there. Half a car length already separating these two. Gann looks to set sail off of turn 4. Grabbing that spot and grabbing a gap already. Justin Gann has scooted away from Jim Ott. I believe Ott just went ahead and has called it. I don't want to say called it quits, but went ahead and conceded the position. It is content to finish here in the 3rd spot. Just kind of run and be easy here. All he's got to do is keep it out of the wall and off of pit road, and he's going to be able to finish inside a podium spot. Still has about 7 seconds back to Nick Hunt before he has to worry about defending that position. And with just 6 laps remaining, I'm not so sure that Hunt's going to be able to get to the back end of Ott anytime soon. Back at the front with your race leader as he makes his way down the backstretch and into turn 3 once again. This time by, he will see the high five from the flag man with just 5 laps remaining for this Havoline Motor Oil number 1, piloted by John Furness. There you can see him off of turn 4, now back down the backstretch, trying to put the 18 of Casey Duncan down a lap, and there's the high five right there. 5 to go here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Brickyard 240. Here in race number 8 of season number 2 for SwiftMotorSports. These drivers going to continue to pound the pavement for another 2 races before we'll take a brief 1 week off to set things up for your championship run. 5 races in the chase for these drivers to get the job done. 2 to get tonight and 2 more to get themselves set up and inside the top 12 and in a spot for a shot at the championship. And I still can't get over the performance here. John Furness, man, what a job. Just time and time again, on and off pit road, much faster than the rest of the field. Again here tonight. Only time we seen a driver benefit on and off pit road was when they decided to take 2 tires, and that was Andrew Mraz in the 28 machine, who is quickly closing in on Nick Hunt. Nick might have to worry about fending off the hard charge from Mraz to keep that 4th spot. But as I said, nobody having any answers for Furness all night long. Even the strategy not panning out and working, and Furness continues to dominate and continues to try to make the clean sweep here at the Brickyard tonight. Walked away fastest in happy hour at the pole position for tonight's Brickyard 240. Has led the most laps and now looking for the race win. With just 3 laps to go, the 1, your race leader closes in on the back end of John Wimbish, who has scored last driver on the lead lap, running in the 6th position. That's right, race fans, you heard it. We've only got 5 drivers left on the lead lap on a 2.5 mile speedway. That is just how quick Furness in that 1 machine has been all night long. And now looking to the inside once again. 2 to go this time by for your race leader, John Furness. Keeping my eye on that timing and scoring on that gap between Andrew Mraz and Nick Hunt. Also keeping our eye on that gap between Hunt to Ott. They are about the same, about 2.5 seconds separate Jim Ott from Nick Hunt, and another 2.5 seconds separates Nick Hunt from Andrew Mraz. So that's going to be a close, tight battle coming towards the end of tonight's race. John Furness now makes his way off of turn 4 and heading back down the front stretch once again. White flag in the air. Final lap for your race leader, John Furness, as he has dominated the field here tonight, looking to secure the clean sweep here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Gap now between Nick Hunt and Jim Ott closing very fast. Gonna take a look at this real quick, race fans, because there you can see Jim Ott just down the backstretch. Nick Hunt trying all he can through the corner here to try to gain some time, try to gain that spot. The distance now under 1 second for Nick Hunt. We'll jump back to your race leader. There you can see him making his way off of turn number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air and in the hands of your race winner, the one of John Furness. Gonna check back with this battle real quick on the final lap of the race. Can that double O somehow find a way to gain 1 second on the 4 of Jim Ott? Don't think he's gonna be able to do so, but still gonna give him the TV time and the opportunity to get the job done in front of all you race fans. Into turn number 3 for the final time goes Ott down to the bottom of the speedway. Now back up towards that outside wall, back into 4 for the final time. Ott's gonna make his way off of 4 and looks like he will round out your podium spots here tonight. And we'll now jump back with your race winner at the front of the field, bringing it to a slow. Heck of a job, heck of a win right there for the man at the front of the field. Dominating performance here tonight for the Michigan native, John Furness. Gonna get a little closer to the action. Let's see if we can't get our close-up camera for this little burnout and celebration. Right here goes Furness in 3, 2, 1, hit that gas. Well, Furness, not gonna do a burnout. All right then. Well, guess we're gonna step away from the track for just a brief moment, get things set up for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. And back trackside as tonight's Brickyard 240 has come to a close. We are ready to run down and have a little bit of talks with some of the drivers walking away in those podium spots here tonight and finishing in a solid third place here tonight, walking away with the third and final spot in the podium here tonight, the 4 of Jim Ott. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling after a solid run here tonight? Green flag the entire time, man. Heck of a job.
Yeah, happy with the run, happy with the finish. A little bit boring out there and didn't pass or see a whole lot of cars, but can't be upset about clean racing.
Absolutely not. Walk us through a little bit of the fuel strategy and the tire strategy. How was the fuel game out there? Was there anything you may have been able to do as far as that's concerned?
I ran out coming to the finish, actually going into one, so I had to save on that last run. Justin had the right idea about saving on the previous run and getting one more lap, and I thought I'd be just fine to run hard with mine, but when he passed me, I couldn't fight him. I knew I was going to be too close on fuel, and I needed a solid finish. So at that point, it was just fuel management, and I'm glad I did. But as far as the tires go, the wear wasn't too awfully bad. The balance was really good on the car pretty much the whole run. So yeah, I can't complain.
All right, well, Jim, we're going to look a little into the future here. Just 2 races remaining before we begin the championship run here this season in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. How do you feel about your team and your chances at the championship? It does look like you're pretty solidly in the points, unless you have some catastrophic 2 races here. I think you're going to make it into the chase without any issues. So what's your thoughts looking forward, or is it still too soon to even think about that chase?
No, I've already had the catastrophic races, I hope, and they're in the past. But last 3 weeks have been exactly what I've been needing, top fives and just running up front, giving myself an opportunity. So yeah, that's all that's been on my mind to make the chase, and now I feel like I'm pretty well secured, so I can run a little bit harder and maybe try to click off a win going into the playoffs. So mindset's kind of changing going in here, and I got some good tracks, and hopefully I can click off a win.
Absolutely. Well, my man, congratulations once again on another solid finish here tonight, walking away in third. So before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that for?
Of course, friends and family for watching, and teammate Jason Harrison for him and I always improving week in, week out, and appreciate Justin and league and what you do up there in the booth.
Well, we do appreciate those kind words, Jim, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway.
Yes, sir.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver finishing in the third spot here tonight. Jim Ott walks away with yet another podium finish on the season. Heck of a job out of that Ford machine to do that and continue the good solid runs he's had. And now let's see if we can't catch up in having a few words with the driver carrying the title sponsor on the hood of that car. Finishing in second here tonight, Justin Gann is Dave in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Justin.
You hear me?
I got you there. I was going to say, hey, Justin, it's Dave. You got me? Because you kind of came in and there we go. Got the wire plugged in all the way, huh?
I don't know what's going on tonight.
Man, a heck of a job. Heck of a finish out there for you and that 30 crew. Walk us through a little bit of your race and how you were able to make up as many spots as you did. Walk away with the biggest mover of the race, up 12 spots, man. That's a lot to gain here at Indy.
Yeah, unfortunately, on my second qualified lap, I ended up scraping the wall out of 2, so it started me off in the back there. But I always come into this race, thinking save the tires. You got to save the tires, and then 9 times out of 10, it comes into fuel strategy too here.
Well, speaking of fuel strategy, we've seen one driver really off sync sequence, and it didn't quite pay off. How much buffer, how much leeway did you really have to pull any type of fuel strategy here tonight?
Well, myself, I pushed it not the last run, but the run before that. I ran about half throttle or to three-quarter throttle most of the race. Ended up getting about 2.5 laps out of that, and that put me in the green by zero point 0.4 gallons. So yeah, it was definitely tricky. Everybody had to save fuel if they wanted to finish without that extra pit stop, and as far as the driver going off pace there with their stops, I think they were just hoping for a caution, and it just didn't pan out for them.
Absolutely. Well, Justin, it's been a great season for you in the 30 all year long, sitting right there, I believe, in fifth place coming into tonight's race. Another solid finish for you here tonight. That's going to move you a little bit further up through the field. I do believe a spot, maybe two, in the point standings. How you feeling about moving forward into the chase with this 30 Toyota Supra?
Yeah, I was looking at the tracks coming into the chase, man. There's some good tracks in there. The last two is definitely going to be a tough race, so hopefully I can keep it clean there. But I think I definitely got a shot to win this season, and hope I can put it in the championship.
Well, we'll enjoy trying to watch you do that. That's for sure. And again, great run here tonight. Congratulations on another solid second place run here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, though, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on that 30?
Oh yeah, I got to thank the sponsor of the series and of the car tonight, RB Rigs. If you guys are looking for a computer, definitely go check out RB Rigs on Facebook. And got to thank the team, 4X, for everything that they do, because we definitely support each other, and they helped me get to where I'm at tonight. And got to thank the admins up in the booth, and you also, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right, my man. Well, we do appreciate the kind words, and we'll look forward to catching up with you at the Lady in Black.
Oh yeah.
Another driver sounding a little bit excited to go to Darlington Raceway. We might be in store for some fireworks next week when we hit the track once again, but now being set for some fireworks with the man that has set off the fireworks, and I believe he has set off a few of the officials. Gonna have to go take a look at this race-winning car down here, the one of John Furness, dominating out there tonight. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, man, I know what you're gonna say. I know it's legal, but are you sure?
If it wasn't, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
I wouldn't want you to.
Of
Man,
course, it's legal. It's iRacing. It's always legal on iRacing.
We'll just leave it at that.
hmm Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, John, another great performance for you and the one crew out there tonight. Clean sweep the entire night. Fastest in happy hour, fastest in qualifying, led the most laps, race win. I mean, nothing left for you to do here except a burnout, and you didn't give me one.
Oh no, man, not at the Brickyard. You just go park it on the bricks right there in Victory Lane, and you gotta stay classy. It's the Brickyard, right? So no smoke show, no rubber down, no nothing. Just real clean.
Well, John, as I already said when we first came to you here in the Victory Lane interview, you pretty much dominated here tonight. How good was that car for you, and do you think this one crew may have another performance like this in it in the final few races of the season?
Well, car was great. I mean, it was actually pretty easy to drive. You could use the throttle to turn it. I mean, it was a little tight on entry, but it is what it is. Back your corners up and take care of that. Hopefully we can pull off a few more. I feel like I've been really fast every week, and it's just hard to put these deals together. You never know which way the cautions are going to fall, and luckily we didn't have any tonight. I'm sure it made for a really exciting race to call up there in the booth, but Yeah, no cautions, good, and you could just yeah, I like the long green flag runs, even though we don't have full tanks of fuel. You have to manage your tires a little bit, so that's always a challenge. And that's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. So we'll try again next week. I'm not sure where we're at. We'll take a look at the schedule and keep on keeping on.
Well, I'll get to where we're at next week here in just one moment. 53 points behind the race, behind the points leader coming in tonight's race, John. You're with the race win, you're gonna gain quite a bit of ground on some of the drivers that you're battling with inside those chase positions, up inside those point spots. With a win like this, with just 2 races remaining, do you think that gives you any leeway as we head to Darlington Raceway next week and then to the regular season finale at Kansas?
Yeah, I don't think so. You never know what can happen here. You can get taken out of these things real quick. I mean, it's racing, so you never know. But I actually missed the race last week. I fell asleep on the couch and felt like an idiot because I had a buddy of mine join, and he ran real good. It was nice to see, but we already missed a couple of races. We don't have any more ground to give up. We want to make a chase, and make a run at the points title here. So that's what we plan on doing.
Well, John, my man, again, congratulations on a clean sweep, a dominating performance here tonight in the Brickyard 240. So before we let you go and enjoy the celebrations, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that one?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you in the booth for doing a great job. I enjoy going back and watching the broadcasts, and I'd like to thank the league admins for putting this deal together. I'd like to thank the team, North Force Racing. Those guys are great over there, and we got a couple team sponsors like Next Level Racing, Blaze Pizza, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, and Butt Kicker. I'd like to thank Walton Insurance Group for the sponsorship as well. They are always supportive of all my racing endeavors, whether it be online or in real life. So shout out to those guys. And yeah, that's it. We're looking forward to every Wednesday, but looking forward to next week so we can try it again.
10-4, my man. Well, we'll look forward to catching up with you at Darlington next week, and we'll see if you can't continue dominating over there like you did right here.
Oh yeah, I like that place.
Well, there you have it. Another driver in your podium spots that's liking Darlington, that's gonna feel in their comfort zone when they head to the Lady in Black, who is known to kind of eat you up and spit you out. But your top 3 in tonight's Brickyard 240, somewhat excited to head to Darlington Raceway next week. Well, race fans, another great one in the books. Not very much for us to do from the track here tonight, except run down your official race results, and it does look like indeed producers are ready for that, because there goes that familiar music in the background. So time to run down your unofficial race results for race number 8 here in the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Walking away with the race win, the clean sweep here tonight in the Brickyard 240, the one of John Furness. Justin Gann gonna slot home in the second spot, and rounding out your podium spots here tonight, the 4 of Jim Ott. Solid run once again here tonight for the 00 of Nick Hunt. Andrew Mraz gonna finish in the 5th spot, while John Wimbish gonna slot home in the 6th position. The 18 of Casey Duncan slotting home in 7th. 8th place goes to Mike Franklin. Brandon Freeze gonna finish in 9th, while 10th place goes to the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Tommy Haynes in the 17 gonna slide home in the 11th spot, while the 66 of Edward Bray finishes in 12th. 13th spot goes to Timothy Smith, while Nigel Christensen comes home in 14th. And rounding out your top 15 here tonight, soldiering on after going down a lap very early here tonight, that 44 of Jason Ayerson. David Cameron gonna finish in the 16th spot, while the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. finishes in 17th. 18th spot goes to the 33 City Chevrolet of Terry Kahn. 19th spot goes to Todd Cray, who dropped out after some connection issues. Cray gonna be scored 50 laps down in the 19th position. Early trouble for the 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. sees him walk away from tonight's Brickyard 240 in the 20th position. And rounding out the field here tonight, the 45 of Robbie Oddie. A big time shout out to Race Control up there in the booth. Don Kidder doing a fine job all season long, not just tonight, but every Wednesday night up there in the Race Control, keeping all of these drivers straight, keeping all the restarts the way they should be. So not very much action up there tonight for Don to keep track of, but still want to give a big time tip of the cap and shout out to Don up there in that Race Control. And well, that looks like that's about it. So we'll begin to roll up the cords and pack things up here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's it, race fans. That's an end to the Brickyard 240. And well, you know how it is. You know what it is. New day, new year. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends. Until next time, we'll see you in turn 3.